strike. Serious global supply risk. Need immediate
Right
help.
now, one of the most vital waterways on the entire planet is turning into a conflict zone. In this explainer, we're going to break down the attacks that are turning these global trade routes into a battlefield. We'll get into why this impacts every single one of us, and then we're going to take you right inside the chaos of what it's like to be targeted.
And this isn't some headline from history. This is the reality today. Two separate attacks, but one very clear message. The rules of the game have changed, and the stakes for global trade and for the people who make it all happen have truly never been higher.
Okay, so to really grasp the gravity of these attacks, we first have to understand exactly where they're happening. We're talking about the Strait of Hormuz. And believe me, this isn't just a random stretch of water. You can think of it as the main artery for the entire global energy economy.
Just look at this number for a second. We're talking about roughly 1/5 of the entire planet's oil supply sailing right through this narrow little passage. So you can imagine, any disruption here isn't just some local problem. It sends a shockwave that hits fuel prices and economies all around the world.
What we're witnessing here is a fundamental shift. These commercial shipping lanes, in the Gulf of Oman, the Persian Gulf, they're not just trade routes anymore. They are now active battlefields, period. And that completely redefines the risk for everyone involved.
So how are these attacks actually happening? Well, let's be clear, this isn't random piracy. No way. The evidence is pointing to a very calculated campaign of strategic targeting. Take a look at the specifics right here. One attack happened right next to Ras Laffan in Qatar. That's the world's biggest export terminal for liquefied natural gas. The other, off the coast of the UAE, and it sparked a fire. The message is pretty unmistakable, right? The goal here is to disrupt the flow of energy.
And this really shows you just how sophisticated this threat is. This isn't small arms fire from a pirate skiff. We're seeing military-grade hardware here, missiles, attack drones, and even these things called unmanned surface vessels, which are basically remote-controlled boats packed with explosives. This is modern warfare, and it's being directed at civilian ships.
All right, now I want us to go from that 30,000-foot geopolitical view and zoom all the way down, right into the heart of one of these vessels, into the engine room at the very moment an attack happens. What does that actually feel like?
In the pure chaos of an impact, training just takes over. The emergency alarm blares. Fire pumps roar to life instantly. The crew scrambles to prep the fixed CO2 firefighting system, and they get the emergency generator on standby. All of this is done anticipating the absolute worst, a total blackout or a catastrophic fire. This is a real life-or-death drill, and it's being done under just unimaginable pressure.
Beyond all the procedures and machinery, there's an immediate and very stark human reality here. For the thousands of seafarers who sail these routes every day, their workplace has literally become a war zone. Their job description now includes trying to survive missile strikes.
Just think about that for a second. In one moment, the incredibly complex job of running a massive ship, of managing cargo and navigation, all of it just vanishes. The only thing that matters is survival. The mission is no longer commerce, it's just staying alive.
Okay, so let's zoom back out and really look at the worldwide consequences. An attack on a single ship in the Strait of Hormuz doesn't just stay there, it sends shockwaves across the entire global system.
So the most immediate impact, the one we all feel first, is the risk to energy supplies, right? That can lead to price spikes at the pump. But it also means massive disruptions to shipping schedules, causing delays and forcing ships to reroute, and inevitably, it forces a much bigger military presence in the region.
And that response is already happening. The US, India, and their allies are deploying warships to the area as we speak. They're not just patrolling either. There's explicit discussion of providing military escorts for commercial vessels. The militarization of these trade routes is escalating fast.
Which leaves all of us with this final, kind of startling question. Are we actually seeing a return to the past? I mean, a scenario where fleets of merchant ships have to be protected by naval warships, just like they were in World War II, simply to deliver the goods the world depends on? That might just be the future we're sailing into.
This is no longer just news. This is the reality seafarers are facing right now. If you want to understand what's really happening, subscribe for more.